Hey, how are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. In one of my previous videos, it was titled How to Handle People Like a Stoic, I believe is what the title was. I'll put it up in the little information suggestion thing. It should be popping up right now. It was titled How to Handle People Like a Stoic, and in that video was the first time I talked about Stoicism on the channel. It was something I wanted to dive into more. I'm going to take some time to talk a little more about one particular concept that I had touched on in that previous video. And that concept, which was something the Stoics really believed, was the fact that you don't have control over other people. And like I had said in the video, you don't have any control over what people say, what people do, what people think, right? That the only thing you have control over in these kinds of situations when you're dealing with other people are, what you say, what you do, what you think. Essentially, how you respond to other people and what they do and say to you, things like that. So I'm bringing this up because I'm going through some things with my family right now. Like disagreements and fights and arguments break out sometimes. It's typical family stuff. And afterwards, I find myself, when I'm removed from the situation, I'm not in their presence anymore. I find myself, getting like consumed by this anger, this where I'm so angry over who these people are fundamentally, right? And I find myself thinking these really like angry, almost hateful kind of thoughts. Like, when I'm super mad, I'm like, I can't believe these people are this way. Why are they this way? And why are they doing these things to make their lives harder? Why are they treating other people this way? Or people in my own family this way, right? Because I've noticed what I think is the case is with family, we can tend to become a little too comfortable with each other. And I think that's kind of the nature of things when you're part of a family. And what can happen as a result of that is everyone in the family can tend to forget that everyone's individuals and everyone deserves a certain amount of respect. And so we start to step on each other's toes, right? We start to overstep those boundaries. So what I wanted to talk about in the video today was drawing a line between telling people off, standing up for yourself, saying no, telling people how you feel, right, and teaching people how to treat you. We'll say that's over here, and then drawing the line to where over here is kind of like the danger zone. It's destructive, right? And what I think over here is when you start trying to change other people, when you start letting that anger and that maybe even that hatred, those feelings start to consume you, and you spend nights, like restless nights, you can't sleep because you're dwelling over how these people are in your life, right? How angry or resentful they are, how disrespectful they are, how they lie, and cheat and all these things. So I want to talk about drawing a line between telling people off and trying to fundamentally change people in some way, right? I believe that, like I said earlier, you can't change other people. And if they're going to change, people in your life that you don't really like much, or you fundamentally disagree with a lot of the things they do, or you just fundamentally disagree with them as a person, and I've dealt with people like that before. I believe that these people can only change on their own time when they want to, right? I believe that people say they're making a lot of different mistakes in life and you no longer want to be around that kind of behavior. You simply need to disassociate yourself from that person and just cut them out of your life and realize that you can't change that other person. If they're going to do that, it's going to be on their own time. It's going to be on their accord, when they're ready, when they've come to some realization or some epiphany that they need to change, right? So you can't control what people are going to do, but you can control how you respond to them. So I believe there needs to be a separation where you learn to tell people how you feel and stand up for them, but don't start to drift too much into the other side, which I think can happen so easily. When we start to become so consumed by these thoughts of how people really are at the basic fundamental level. And I believe that's dangerous. You need to show some self-restraint and keep yourself at this side where you're standing up for yourself, you're being confident, you're respecting yourself, which means you're telling people how you feel. You're standing up for yourself, you're saying no when you want to say no, when people are asking too much of you, right? And you feel like you're getting pulled in every which way direction. You need to tell people how you feel, but don't drift too much into this other side. You need to find a point where you stop. You go, okay, like, all right, Jake, okay, I told this person how I felt. Now I need to let it go, because I don't want to start to try to change them, right? I don't want to waste time being mad at who this person is. I simply want to tell them how I feel and then let them deal with that. If they want to change or they don't want to change, that's not my concern, right? It has nothing to do with me. It's none of my business. I need to tell them how I feel and then back off, because I don't want to drift into this other side where I start to get consumed by these self-destructive feelings, right? By this anger and hatred. So that's it. It's drawing a line. And it's a tight line that we all walk, right? But I believe it's like everything in life, it's a balance. Tell people how you feel and stand up for yourself, but don't get so angry, Don't get so mad at people, and don't get so wrapped up in other people's lives and who they are fundamentally as a person that you start to dwell so much on that and it starts to ruin your life. Don't do that. Stay here, show some self-restraint, tell people how you feel, and then back off, because that's all you can do. Because like I said at the beginning of this video, like the Stoics said, you can't change other people. You have no control over how people choose to live their lives, and you have no control over who people are. The only thing you do have control over is who you are and how you respond to things and other people, right? I hope it helped, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.